Volunteer Dharma English Club. Very good afternoon. My name is Ling Lax. It's any honorable privilege and happy for me to be the moderator for the interactive talk and discussion today. So before starting our virtual meeting and dialogues, I would like to invite all support your pen together to recite the Buddha name for 3 times in Pali language. May I request Venerable Thích Đồng Đắc to write the voice first. Venerable, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Thank you very much, Bante. Next, I would like to announce the tentative program today is as follows. 1. Introducing guests and participants. 2. Opening speak and introducing the chief guest by Dharma Sister Hữu Tâm. 3. Special speak by our chief guest, Professor Anand Singh. 4. Q&A session. 5. Vote obtained by Dharma Sister Vạn Như. 6. Closing program by the traditional song of the club, I Have a Right, I Am Home. In this meaningful and interactive meeting today, it's really my pleasure and honorable for us to welcome 1. Professor Anand Singh, Nalanda University, Bihar. 2. Venerable Dr. Thích Đồng Đắc, founder and president of Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club, Vietnam. 3. Our Dharma brothers and sisters are members of the clubs or Antian. Once again, please and welcome you all to this rich virtual meeting today. To understand our Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club as well as brief biography of our guest speaker today, now I would like to invite Dharma Sister Hữu Tâm for opening remarks and introducing our chief guest. Sister, please open the mic to you, Sister. Dharma Sister Hữu Tâm, please.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, respected Smart Sangha, respected Professor Anand Singh, dear all members of the Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club, Dharma brother and sister, very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Professor Sir Anand Singh, Nalanda University in Bihar, to our Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club, the School of Buddhist Study in Vietnam. Thank you so much, Venerable, for your kind acceptance of our invitation as the guest speaker today. Let me take a few minutes to give you all brief introduction of Buddhist School of Buddhist Study and Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club. As we know, the School of Buddhist Study is one of the top schools in the field of Buddhist study in Vietnam, which render a large number of months to 2 Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City and Huế. Our students are usually our top students at the entrance exam for graduate program in these universities. For the betterment of users to English, Nguyên Thiêu Dharma English Club was founded by then Dr. Thích Đồng Đắc in School of Buddhist Study at the province in 2020 with participation of more than 200 monks and nuns. We are active in learning Dharma English under the form of Buddhist English Club that we use English as a medium language to understand the Buddha teachings, along with environmental for necessary skills of reading, speaking, listening, and writing for our members. It will be a strong foundation and valuable preparation for them to study abroad in future. It's basic step for all members of the club to have a good chance to learn Dharma through English and to understand English under the form of Dharma. We will have a good approach to prominent speakers, scholars, teachers, and professors in the field of Buddhist study from different countries in different Buddhist traditions as Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India for Theravada traditions, Vietnam, China, Japan, and Korea for Mahayana Buddhism, and Mongolia, Bhutan, Tibet for Vajrayana Buddhist traditions. Today, in our 31st dialogue with Professor Anand Singh in 2022 in the series of quickly international meeting of the Winter Roma English Club, Abundant School of Buddhist Study in Vietnam. It's with great pleasure Professor Anand Singh had accepted our invitation as the guest speaker to have a talk with our 200 members of the club on the contents of the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. Once again, thank you for joining us and welcome you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Should I begin?
Master Thủ Tâm. Now may I request Professor Anand Singh, Nalanda University, Bihar, to give your main speech on the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta today. Open to my to you, sir.
Thank you, Venerable Doc, and all who is also be my student and have a long association in the Gautam Buddha University, and he is one of the most sharpest student of Buddhist studies. All the sisters and brothers who is just connected to have interaction with me. And first of all, I want to congratulate all of you that you have initiated such a wonderful program that interacting with the people of different nationalities on Buddhist topic. So it is very best effort, and my news was gathering, and again I said, anytime if you want my academic help, I would be ready to join you. Topic is simple but valuable, and is that knowing Buddha through the Buddhas, through the Buddha, the learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. When you talk about that, you know that's a part of the Majjhima Nikaya and the original Pali source. When you talk about that Ariyapariseyana Sutra, the important thing that is that what we in the Pali tradition is considered the early autobiography of the Buddha. Earliest autobiography means that Buddha himself wrote about his own life, told about his own life. So this is the very important thing, that why this sutta is very important, that it is considered to be the first direct information about his life that Buddha is sharing to the other monks. Though this, what you say is that is very much debate on this sutta, that it is missing some part of it. Like I'm just giving you example, like it generally avoid the things that how Buddha started his wandering, means Mahavinishkraman. Generally, it did not describe in very detail that what happened, what was the kind of interaction with the Kanthak and with the Chanda when he was just left them and crossing the Enoma and just moving. The sutta basically start with interaction with the first teacher, Alara Kalama, and then again into his interaction with the second teacher, Rudra Karamputra, and again with the he directly come to one point, that his attainment of Nibbana, and again then it come to that meeting Sarnath or Varanasi. So many things, many threads are here missing. and so it put them into the matter of debate. Like many says that why Buddha did not mention the Four Noble Truths. Generally, it did not mention. Why Buddha did not mention his wandering that happened in Uruvela. That what happened exactly with his relation with the 5 monks before his Nibbana. So these are the some points which are matter of debate, and I will explain, I will ponder, I will give my view when I will just discuss this thing when I come to that. So first I just come to the Sutta, and this autobiographical account begins with an incident that happened in the Jetavana, and you know Jetavana, all of you know, that is one of the very famous vihara that was in the Shravasti, and built by Anathapindak or Sudatta. The Jetavana is important, you know, because it considered to be one of the most favorite place of the Buddha. Why I'm just telling it? Because if you mention it, you have a direct evidence that Buddha is spent in the Jetavana around 25 Vassavasa. So out of 45 Vassavasa, you talk about that 25 is spent in one place. It shows that how this place was very close to his heart. And again, when you talk about that, if he is spending 25 Vassavasa at one particular place, it means he is discussing some of the very important thing at this place. So it is said that a majority of the most important discourses happened especially in and around Savatthi or Shravasti, especially that begins with the Jetavana. So this is the first autobiographical sketch that begins with what you say in Jetavana and popularly known as Ariyapariseyana Sutta. So how it begins, and when you just learn the incident, you find it that when Buddha was going for alms round in the Jetavana, and after that he returned, so he told Ananda that I want to go to see the Megara's mother. And so he just visited with the Megara's mother, and in meantime, there was a, what you say, people who just came and just told him that I want to listen direct from Venerable. We have not learned many things after from the Buddha, from the Venerable, so long. So they requested Ananda that I want to listen to Venerable. So Ananda was knowing that he was going to Megara's mother's place. So he told those Bhante, go to the monastery of a hermit of, there is another Brahmin monk who's known as Ramaka. So he told that go and wait. And you see the incident. Buddha never told that he's going to preach at Ramaka's place. It was Anand who knows, and see that what kind of facilitation that Buddha want to know that what, when Buddha come and they started moving to Megara's place, you find it that in between, Ananda told the Buddha that if I am coming here, if I am coming at this place, then please I should also follow the Ramaka's place, without telling the Buddha that there are other monks who are waiting for them here. So after just visiting the Megara's place, on the request of Ananda, Buddha visited to Ramaka's hermitage. And where you find it that when Buddha visited here, they found there was few monks who were just sitting, and they started discussing that some point. So Buddha intervened and told all venerables what you are discussing. So all told that we are not discussing anything but waiting for you, and we want to listen something from you. So on their insistence, on their, you can say that request, Buddha started speaking on himself, that how Siddhartha became Bodhi, how Siddhartha became Buddha. So a story begins with that. A story just gives you that how this system begins, how his system started. And you find it that Buddha here did not mentioning about noble truth or preaching or etc. He was speaking about no. What was a good, ignoble kind of search? So his emphasis was he wanted to explore the best, and his exploration was basically to find himself in that way that took him towards the Buddha or towards the Buddhahood. So he begins his idea that during this wandering, during this search, he just started meeting the different kind of the people, and in this different kind of tradition, I just met first Alar Kalam. So just he says that, why I am meeting the Alar Kalama? So he says that I am meeting Alar Kalama to discover, to seek the idea of deathlessness. Means I want to establish a kind of knowledge that is supposed to be deathless. So this kind of, you can say, the idea that this kind of idea that you find it that is mentioned in his resolution, in his determination. So he went with the Alar Kalama, and you see it. If you see this process, you find it that what happened from river Anoma to reaching Vaishali, Buddha did not mention it. Here, in between, he meant number of the monks. There was one lady, Bhikshuni, was worshipping, interacting with number of people. But in this, historical things is not mentioned. Then the question was that, why it was not mentioned? Some of the interpreters just asking that why it was not mentioned, why this kind of things is not mentioned. So you just find it, that probably all of the bhikshus who were interacted with them had the knowledge of this kind of things. And so what happened in the initial process during his beginning of the Mahavinishkraman, probably he left and he directly come to the point that how his feeling was with the Alar Kalam. And so says that he was a great master. He praised him, that he was a great master, and he interacted it. And I'm just quoting the Alar Kalam's view. Buddha says that when he just interacted with Alar Kalama, so he says that what I have learned, means I'm talking about Alara Kalama, what I have learned, he was saying, I entered and dwell in this Dhamma, having realized it for myself through direct knowledge. Certainly, he dwells knowing, seeing this Dhamma. So, Buddha is telling, I went to him and said, to what extent do you declare that what you have entered and dwell in this Dhamma? When this was said, he declared dimension of minds. That Buddha that was the that was experienced with it. How you discussed it? Allah Kalam is saying that what knowledge is knowledge. Direct knowledge is, it was not communicated through the person, but you have to inculcate, you have to develop it on your own. It needs some kind of meditative idea, some kind of action that will help you to develop some kind of you. I am audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I am audible. It is disconnected somehow. Okay. If not, you can just interrupt me. Okay. Now, one very important point you learn it when his first interaction with the Alar Kalam was that his idea of direct action. Direct action means they don't need any mediation to get the knowledge. Means you have to strive, you have to develop the knowledge that you are striving for. So what knowledge you are striving for? Definitely Buddha developed his own idea later on that you call it through the idea Samatha and Vipassana that was well discussed. Pana Sutta to Satipatthana Sutta to Mahasatipatthana Sutra. So it is what is that? He is discussing, he's just giving the idea that what was the first thing that is very important is the direct knowledge that he was talking about, to learn the idea of deathlessness. And then again he says that, so what is your specialization? Alar Kalam was saying that my specialization is nothingness. So Siddhartha engrossed with idea of nothingness, and he found that he learned everything. And then he told that I have learned everything. What is your expertise? I have learned everything. So Alar Kalam became very happy. And you find it that why it is happy? Because when he tested the knowledge, he found that there was he was searching a kind of his companion. So he got Siddhartha as his companion who can develop his idea further. What I'm telling, the Sutta told it that, yes, you have attained what I have learned, and it is gain for us. He was saying, the Sutta says it, that Kalama is saying to Siddhartha that it is gain for us, my friend, a great gain for us when we have a such companion in holy life. So the Dhamma I declared, I have entered and dwell in, have in, and you realized yourself through direct knowledge. So very important thing that 2-3 important dilemma it solves. Very first thing is that Alara Kalama give all his best knowledge to the Siddhartha. Siddhartha learned it very diligently, and his learning was accepted by Alara Kalama, that it was at par of his knowledge, and he is ready, means Alara Kalama is ready to accept him as his companion. But Siddhartha decided that it was not his destiny, it was not his stage to be here. So he requested, yes, I'm very thankful that you have compared me at par with yourself, equal with yourself, and I'm very happy that the knowledge you have given to me, but I cannot stay here, so give me permission to leave. And so Siddhartha left the place, and you see it that again there is something happened. But Siddhartha crossed the Ganges and just moving towards the Rajagriha. And in the Rajagriha, there was some happenings. It is said that Bimbasara met him and just requested him to come back to material life again, but he politely declined and moved forward. And if you see it that here he found his second teacher, that is you call as Rudrakramputra. Again, when you just find his Rudrakramputra or Uddaka, his 2-3 things is a matter of discussion here. That when he was talking about Uddaka or Rudraka, it seems a very important thing is that probably the knowledge that Alara Kalama was developed by Alara Kalama himself. But here we find it was a slight hint left by Siddhartha or Buddha later on. Basically, the idea that was developed here by Uddaka or Rudrakramputra was not his own. It is said that probably this kind of knowledge was developed by his father, who was known as some Rama. So you see that it was basically the knowledge derived the Rama and it was owned by Uddaka, but Buddha just interacted with him, and Uddaka, you see that Uddaka was very happy to make Siddhartha as his companion. He also lived with him, and it is said that Buddha learned with him the idea of neither perception nor non-perception. Both are Uddaka told him, again is preaching Siddhartha, I thought not only Rama have conviction, persistent mindfulness and concentration, but the Siddhartha also had the same kind of conviction, persistence, mindfulness and concentration. And because of that concentration, because of that persistence, Siddhartha was able to know his knowledge provided by Uddhava. And to see that was there is a lot of disturbance. So basically, and again you find it that after that, a very important happening. What we find it that we don't have a very important kind of things that is missing here. In Ariyapariseyana Sutta, we are not mentioning lot of happenings that 5 ascetics met Buddha, accompanied all 5 ascetics. They all together perform kind of, you can say, asceticism or sacrifices, kind of, you can say, level of unconsciousness that Buddha attained. Later tradition says there was an intervention from the Tushita heaven by his mother, Mahamaya. You can say that Siddhartha's decision to leave extreme penances and parting with the 5 monks are not there. So the big question that it was not possible. Probably the things that was available, everybody was knowing that what happened. So, not real kind of teaching. So Buddha, so this is one kind of just that he
Okay, just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. I think he lost internet connection. Just wait.
Yes, my connection is disturbed or your connection is disturbed?
Yes, I think your internet connection, sir. Okay, now please proceed, sir. Continue, please, sir.
Because in lecture book, you know, I need silence.
Yes, I think you lost internet connection, sir. So now you already reconnected. So please continue your talk, sir.
So what I was telling that a lot of very important part is missing in Ariyapariseyana Sutta. Like when you talk about that, when things are missing here, that from after meeting or leaving the Uddakaram Putra, there is a lot of things that is not found here that I was just speaking to you, that there is no reference of how he accompanied the 5 ascetics. There is no reference of that how he made extreme penances with them. There was no mention of references that how he became unconscious as there is a divine intervention of his mother. There is no reference of in this sutta that how he parted ways with the 5 monks. There is no reference of, you can say that how he going to take the idea of middle path, and how he just take the kheer that you say that taken by the Sujata, given by the Sujata, and so it just directly and how and then he just felt, you can say that he became Buddha. Happened basically after the Nibbana. It is also just silent upon the you can say that meeting with the Tapassu and Bhalika. It is also silent on the Buddha's further meditation for 7 weeks after the Nibbana. That it happened near the Bodh Gaya. The way and say that the knowledge that you have earned should be just taught to the world, and then it is said that it mentions that I should interact first with my teacher. That is he just desires to be that it should be the second teacher, Rudrakram Putra. And then finally, he was also no more, only 1 night before he died. So he decided that he should go to Sarnath for meeting with the 5. And Ajivak monks' interaction is in the sutta, and story narrated in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra and other, it mentions as reach that these 5 monks identify initially they were just discuss anything with him. The word that was explained in the Dhammacakkappavattana is very, you can say, treated very differently. So you just found it that many of his assumptions was not properly discussed here. Again, there is a too much deliberation about this sutta. That is 4.45 things that has been raised here. That is, one thing is there that this sutta is considered to be the earliest autobiographical account. Number 2, there is many questions that is raised that why Four Noble Truth has not been mentioned. Number 2, that why the incident before the Alara Kalam has not been mentioned by the Buddha. Third, that the happening of post meeting of Rudra Kalamputra was not mentioned by the Buddha. Even after the Bodhi, what is happening in 7 weeks and meeting of Tapassu and Bhalik is not mentioned here in the sutta. So there is much debate on this sutta, and some of it was I have elaborated very much in my you can say book, that is Buddhism at Sarnath, when I was discussing that Buddha's intention definitely, when you just look the anthropological or sociological view of Buddha, Buddha's teaching, you find is that he was not to deliver every kind of knowledge to everyone. What he mentioned in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, why he was not mentioning in the Ariyapariseyana Sutra? Because definitely there were monks whose level of mindfulness, whose idea of consciousness may be different. Maybe somewhere the Nibbanic, maybe some may be the Shramanes, maybe somewhere is still in between the position. So this sutta was in a kind of a generic disposition of his idea that the person who was Nibbanic should learn to inculcate, the person who was Shramane should follow his idea to find that how Siddhartha did very determined work to develop his own idea. So you will find it that this may be one of the reasons that everything in his biographical account is not fully mentioned here. Some part is clearly left. Otherwise also you just find it that this autobiographical sketch was considered to be one of the original findings, that how Buddha was discussing himself, how Buddha was representing himself, how Buddha was having a disposition about himself, and how other monks should learn from it. So this is the very important factor that this sutta just mentioned. And one important point that Buddha reiterates here in the last monk asks, so okay, you have met Alara Kalama, you have met Rudra Kalamputra, then you are telling that everybody treated him as a great master. You left them, and then finally, then tell me, who is your teacher? So this is the core of Ariyapariseyana Sutta's teaching. What he mentions, he just mentioned is that I'm just saying, I have no teacher. I have interacted with, learned with everyone, but my inner development, my Buddhahood is my own. So dissemination of knowledge is existing. That is well discussed in another sutta, that is Brahmajala Sutta, that how 62 kind of teaching was existing there. He mentioned that he has learned all, not only Alar Kalama, not only Uddakaram Putra, not only you can say that Kaundinya Mahanama and etc. But all that was existing in that very word. Himself mentioning in the Brahmajala Sutra, 62 kind of beliefs that was existing. He learned all, but he developed his own mindset. He developed his own method that how you will attain the Buddhahood, how you can attain the Bodhi, how you can just develop yourself. And so by this, I'm just referring that this sutta is mentioning that he was telling that when replying to Ajivaka Upaka, and so he was saying that we were asking about my teacher, all vanquishing, all knowing am I. He himself so is Buddha. With regard to all things, unadhering, all abandoning, released in ending of craving, having fully known on my own. To whom should I point as my teacher? I have no teacher, and no one like me cannot be found. In the world with its devas, I have no counterpart. For I am an arahat in the world. I, an excellent teacher. I alone am rightly self-awakened. Cooled I am, unbound I am. To set rolling the wheel of Dhamma, I am going to city of Kasi. In a word, become blind. I beat the drum of the deathless. So you see that how he was telling, though he was learning, he was telling in the different sutta that I have learned all what is existing. He is interacting. Satchaka Sutra you mentions, he found that he is interacting with the Ajivaks. He is interacting with the giants. He is interacting with the all monks. But the way, the methodology, the things that he had created, simply he was showing to the Upaka that it was his own. It was his own, definitely. And the best example, if you read, you are learning the Ariyapariseyana Sutta and you just mingle with the other Sutta that is known as Nagara Sutta, you find it that he says that, yes, all knowledge are existing, but it is almost out. It was like a forgotten city. I cannot say that I am an innovator of this knowledge, but I am a discoverer of knowledge. And I made this discovery my own. That is why I is used to speak that no one is my teacher. I am all conqueror. I am the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Anand Singh, for enlightening us the wonderful topic today. The Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. We have got lots of knowledge and useful information that you have given our club member. Through your presentation, I believe that our participant and member he have understood clearly and fully about the dominant feature of the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. Once again, thank you, Professor Anand Singh. Now it's time for us to come to Q&A session. Anyone who wants to add on to chief guests, kindly open your mind and feel free to ask. Don't hesitate, please. All questions are warmly welcome in this session, please. I would like to invite Dhamma brother, Dhamma sister Thangi, please.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Speak. Yeah, I'm hearing.
Yes. Can you share some book you have published? Yes, thank you.
Oh, so many books. So Ante Luke can inform you that some of the books will be with him. So when you talk about this topic, basically I have mentioned somewhere in my book, that is Buddhism in Sarnath. The second is that I have mentioned that dana in Buddhism. Third one is that is plant. Just a minute, just a minute.
Yes.
You can just see it, just you can just see it if you just remember. Is it visible? Okay. It's visible. Next one. Tell.
Yes, thank you, Professor. I would like to invite my sister Bạn Phúc, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I have a question for you. Some people think that becoming a monk is not filial to your parents. What do you think about the issue?
I'm not understanding what you are speaking. Can you write it? Can you write it?
Đọc lại để chị Phúc, thầy không hiểu.
Venerable Duke, are you here?
Some people think that becoming a monk is not filial to your parents. What do you think about the issue?
Okay. What I'm understanding, what you were saying, that we are asking that some people think that when you are becoming a monk or nun, it is not good to your parent. Are you asking this? Are you asking this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. No. That's a very important thing is that the first thing is that if parents are not allowed, you cannot be a nun or monk. Without the consent of the parent, you see that when Buddha went to the Kapilvastu, and you find it that he made the rule after after Rahul's conversion, he made the direct rule that nobody can be a monk or nun when he is not seeking permission of his parents. In the condition of married women, it was just made also an exception that you have also to take the consent of your husband. In a very special circumstance, it is said that even the silence of husband is okay, that you can enter into the fold. Number two things. If you see that generally you became a monk, so you are isolated from your family. But if you see at least 100 of resources in the Pali Sutta, in which it has been mentioned that family always supported. The bhikshu or bhikshunis, the only condition that bhikshu maintained to this family is that you don't have to maintain any kind of filial relations, and idea of celibacy should be maintained. So you just find it that there is no total cutoff from the family. Though you live outside, now the Sangha is your new family, but you have some kind of contact in kind of economic, financial, or some kind of social dependency. And it is permissible, you just find it, that you have 100 of examples. Even you see that even for the Buddha, it is that after death of their parents, the monks, nuns visited to their home. So in the modern context, it is not, you can just say that there is a aversion. If parent will not allow, the children cannot be monk or nun.
Thank you very much, Professor. I would like to invite Dharma Sister Huệ Châu, please.
Good afternoon, Professor. I have a question for you. Why did the Buddha not preach after enlightenment?
Why did Buddha not
Preach after enlightenment?
Okay, why he did not decide it to preach? Is it no? Just after the enlightenment?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, what it is written, what is it? That Buddha's Siddharth's discovery to be Buddha is to discovery of the self. And then it is said, then he discovered the self, he became Buddha. Finally, he decided that he will not preach anyone. This is one of the factors. Number two, that was mentioned in the literature is that his teaching was so difficult, so subtle, that he cannot understood by ordinary person. So how he can teach? You will find it. That's why he was seeking good person who is as equal to you. Why he was discovering Alar Kalama. Why he was discovering Rudra Kramputra to preach? Because he wants the person to be his equal to his knowledge. And if you see it, when you learn the Dharmacakkapavattan Sutra, why all 5 monks could not learn his knowledge immediately? So it was his subtleties, it was his very difficult proportion. Basically, that was given as some kind of philosophical stature. But when you think about me, what is my personal opinion? It was all kind of methodology. It was all kind of things that was discussed when Buddhism became a religion. He was a person who come out from prince to a wanderer to reform this world that was grappling with the suffering. So, in my opinion, the idea that he don't want to preach was interpolated later on. Simply, he took some time, 7 weeks or something. You have to evolve and how you teach. So that was just not only to teach, but later on, Sahampati agreed him to be.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite Dharma Sister Nhuận Hiền, please.
Hi, sir. I have a question for you. Can you share how to apply mindfulness meditation in the state of meditation?
Not hearing, sister. Can you repeat the question?
Can you share how to apply mindfulness meditation in the state of meditation?
You tell me, you are a sister. I am a lay follower. How can I tell you? You are a practitioner monk. You should tell me. How can I share you? Why you are asking me to this?
Maybe she want to ask your experience, like your experience.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
from perspective of layperson.
Yeah, listen. When you talk about that meditation, one very important point. I know that you are a practitioner, so definitely you have some kind of experience. But one thing is that you are engaging, like I am a very what you say that very beginner kind of meditator, have done only 2-3 sessions, only 10 days sessions and 3 days session of the Vipassana Myanmar, fine. But by doing this, I am doing 5 to 10 minutes daily. So what I found is that what Buddha is telling, that how you can learn to concentrate on yourself is very important stage to develop yourself. So what he was saying that beginning from Kaya Anupassana to Chitta Anupassana, and then finally you find it, that how your idea, means my idea, that how you believe, and is what I just find it that what kind of liberty he is giving. Means you have to think one thing only, that you have to just find your breath in whatever you are conditioned. When you learn about his first stage that was discussed in the Satipatthana and Mahasatipatthana Sutta, that you call that Kaya Anupassana, you find it that you can take the idea of meditation when you are sleeping, you can take when you are standing, you can take when you are sitting, you can take when you are just moving. So you just find it that his idea is that you have to get into it. But one of the very important finding what I found, he's not going to say it to control it. That is latter yoga tradition is mentioning. To control it. This is not, he was not talking about the control. So this is the learning. And the second important thing that many of the scholars are thinking, what is found, that Buddha deregulated the kind of meditation. Do what you like. In what way? This is not the way. He used to say that everything, that why you are meditating, you should meditate, where you should meditate, why you should meditate generally in the Padmasana, why even after the Nibbanic you should continue to meditate, became Arhat, you should meditate. So a kind of deregulation that is discussed is not found, in my opinion, as I have read, that Buddha said that some kind of regulated way is important to learn your mind. So this is the 2-3 things, what is my personal learning when I talk about that through meditation, what I learned. And by the way, I'm just writing a wonderful kind of thing, this experience, probably in available in next 1-2 years.
Thank you, Professor. I would like Professor nicknames iPhone. Open your mic, Prof. Open your mic. I would like Professor nickname iPhone. Open your mic, sir.
Yeah, my mic is open. Are you listening to me? And
I would like Dhamma Sister Tamte, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
I have a question, please.
Tell me.
Do you know Sanskrit and Pali language? Which language is your important language in Buddhism today?
Can you repeat, sister?
Can you hear?
Can you repeat?
Do you know Sanskrit and Pali language? Which language is your important language in Buddhism today?
2 things. First, what just I learned that, can you share how to apply with the previous question, mindfulness meditation and subject of meditation. So I want just Venerable Duke to just inform that when you teach meditation, it is not a generic system you should apply. Basically, you should seek that how Buddha discovered the idea of meditation. This is not taught in any university. So that should be taken a very important one. When you're talking about, the sister is asking about that, sometime when Venerable Duke will discuss it, then I will tell you how it can be possible. Then sister is telling that the language, you know, Buddha, Buddha, na? That particular time people are saying that Sanskrit was elite language and non-language. Buddha told in the language which was accessible to the masses. Have you learned about Ashoka? He wrote his idea in 4 languages, 4 languages. So the question is, language is not important. Communication is important. Buddha preached in either Pali or Ardha Magadhi. It became universal religion. So the question is, people say it is very important to know Pali when you know Buddhism. When in Mahayana sister told it is very important to know Sanskrit, is that. But the question is, learn from your country, Thich Nhat Hanh. Jab Thich Nhat Hanh, he started everything in the Vietnamese. And then finally it was just translated into the English as a word literature. So the very important thing, leave about the language. The thing is, the best language, how you can communicate the true teaching of the Buddha to the masses. If you can teach in the Vietnamese and you can cover whole Vietnam, probably the Vietnamese is best language for teaching of the Buddha than Pali and Sanskrit. So you should be that smart, that you are not knowing English, no issue, but you are knowing Vietnamese and you are the best teacher. So you can be a global teacher. People will translate on your behalf. Okay. Buddha teach in Ardha Magadhi, Buddha teach in Pali, and his teaching is translated in hundreds of languages today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor. I would like to invite Professor nickname iPhone open the mic. Sure.
What? Open, yeah, my mic is open. My mic is never muted.
Open the mic to you, sir.
Sir,
Professor,
one more question. Yes.
Tell.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Very grateful for a very, very elucidating, excellent speech, excellent discourse. I have just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 short questions.
Sure.
One is, there is some mention that after Buddha attained enlightenment, then he came and met, he had a meeting with Bimbisar also.
Yeah.
There, I have also read somewhere that he had a meeting with Bimbisar even before he went to practice under the asceticism under the Bodhi tree.
Yeah.
But and I was told that this was in fulfillment of a promise which he had made to Bimbisar, King Bimbisar, that when he has got enlightenment, then he will come and meet him also. I'm not sure whether this is a very reliable, authentic story. I would like to know from you how far it is authentic.
Very good question, respected professor. It is very much authentic. And what I have just told you, when Siddhartha, after meeting the Alaraka Lama, left Vaishali and Rajgriha, there was an information, because he was a prince in every state, that Siddhartha as a prince left his house and left for the wandering. And so every king just have a watch that where he is. And when as soon as he crossed the Ganges and reached the territory of the Rajgraha, the commanders informed the Bimbisara that there is a prince, look like a prince is coming, and probably he was a Siddhartha. And when he just got to know that he was a Siddhartha, Bimbisara personally visited him and told him just to come to real fort because you are a prince. The wandering is not destined to you. And then it is said that some kind of personal things were also discussed. And it is said that Bimbisara also offered that if you are not interested to go to your home, kindly come, and he offered the post of commander, of chief of the Magad. It is also said Siddhartha declined it politely. And then Bimbisara said that you are very ardent, and I wish that you will attend your, you will be successful in your vision. And when you became Nibbanic, then kindly come and meet to me. When Buddha got Nibbana, he became Buddha, and he was planned for the Saranatha. He decided to just meet the Bimbisara. And when he was moving, this started his journey from Bodh Gaya, and there's a very important incident that the Bimbisara was informed, and from here, Bimbisara, I am sitting at this place from where Bimbisara started his journey, and Bimbisara started his journey from here, moved on foot 15 kilometers, that at a place which is known as Jetian. The place is just known as just Jetian. And so at Jetian, from Bodh Gaya, Buddha came and both met with each other. Jetian is considered to be one of the very important pilgrimages. The people who also died that it was meeting between the Bimbisara at the level of Siddhartha as well as at the level of Buddha. And historic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I would like
Thank
to
you.
invite.
Thank you so much. There is one short question.
Yes, sir.
There is one short question. And
Yeah,
for the clarification that you gave, I'm
Yes, yes.
eternally thankful to you. Eternally thankful to you. I was wondering how a wandering person will be met by the king and he would quickly offer his kingdom. That kind of thing was not going into my comprehension. So, but now you have made it very clear, and I'm thankful to you again. There is one more short clarification, which is, of course, I could have removed that ignorance by reading more closely, but I'm taking advantage of your proximity, of course, on wire. I have a feeling that he was, I mean, in all about 6 years away from home by the time he got enlightenment. I have one more information where when he got the milk and rice from Sujata,
Yeah.
he divided it into 49 parts. Why did he, what was this 49 parts? Was it because he had spent 49 days in austerities and now he was deciding to take solid food? So this gives me some impression that for 49 days he had done practice elsewhere than Bodhi tree. And then he decided that he will meditate. So he went to the river and probably he meditated there. For how long he remained there? From the after he left, after having his meal, Sujata's offered meal, very tasty milk and rice meal. I believe that he practiced meditation near the river Niranjana or something. I don't know really where that river is, and for how long he practiced asceticism in that area, which he found, which is described as very, very beautiful area, very calm, peaceful. But certainly I see that this is far away from Bodh Gaya, where he got enlightenment. So there are two periods. One is that he has practiced austerities under Bodhi tree. He has practiced austerities in the river, near the river Niranjana. So I just wanted to know how long he was under the Bodhi tree before he received Nirvana.
I actually see that 2-3 things we should be careful when we talk about religion. So when you talk about that literature, then we find it historically lot of juxtaposition or interpolation happened. So exactly historicity, you cannot know that whether he spent 7 weeks that you call 49 days, or whether he spent 7 days. Lot of debates are going on this. But when you just look the archaeology and just moving into it, I'm just giving you example of 4 or 5 places in Bodh Gaya region. When you talk about this place, kilometers, 3 to 4, that just near to Sujata temple. Other thing, when you look into it, at least 5-6 places around the 20 kilometer circumference you found that is very much related to Siddhartha as well as Buddha. When you talk about that after parted the way of the 5 ascetics, it is said that the 3 important places are very much known. 2, 4 you can say if you just add the river. One is known as Kawadol. Kawadol. It is known as, I'm just writing it. One is known as Kawadol. Other is just known as Vajrayo, probably. Yes. Vajrayoni or Buddhayoni. The second is that is known as Bakror, that is Sujata's place. You can say Sujata's place. And definitely the 4th is Niranjana. If you just giving you 4 or 5 ideas that when you talk about that Kawadol, it is said that Kawadol is place accepted as very important place. Why? It is, I don't know just reality or things that it is say that it is the first place where Buddha countered with the Mara. So very important place after the Siddhartha when he started meditating. It is, so what Siddhartha was doing, probably he was meditating here. Buddha's statue is there, that is in Bhumi Sparsh Mudra. So it is said that here Buddha touched the earth, and when finally earth became the witness. So it is said that it is one of the earliest place where Siddhartha started. Again, if you see that other place, that is Vajrayoni. So it is said that of the Buddha decided. So it is also just mentioned probably on Vajrayoni he meditated for some time. Again, it is said, then he went to the Mahabodhi, means he went to the under the tree of the, and where he just meditated and attained the fourth stage of jhana. So actually, when you learn the methodology, it is the idea of 49 or 7 weeks, or sometimes people say 7 days. In one of the literature mentions only he spent 1. It is exactly not known to us. But one thing is that during his wandering, he visited many.
Thank you. Thank you.
Venerable Duke, I am audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible now, sir.
Yeah.
I think
so,
you lost.
You will find it there are many places like Kukkudapada. That is known as Kashyapa's place. So it is said that Buddha also visited there to learn. So in Bodh Gaya region, you have at least more than a dozen places, more than 12 to 15 places where it is says that during the wandering, we only learn only 2 things, that he took bath in Niranjana, he went to Sujata's place, and then he went to the Bodhi. But not. Historically, if you found it, it is almost 12 to 15 places where Siddhartha as well as Buddha connect himself during the stage of Siddharthahood as well as Buddhahood.
Thank you, Professor Anand Singh. I would like to invite nickname 97713406995 open over the mic to you. I would like to invite Sister Thong Thể, please.
Dear sir,
Yes, sister.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure. You can.
Can you share about your experience of studying Buddhism?
What do you say?
Can you share about your experience of studying Buddhism?
Buddhism. Oh, India is a place of birth of Buddha, so I have a great experience. And as a Buddhist scholar, as a Buddhist practitioner, this is considered to be the best religion that I just pursue it. And one of the very important advice and learning that I just found it, that one should not learn Buddha as only practitioner or religious head. It is very important to learn Buddha as a personality, to learn Buddha as a great person, how he perceived the things, and how he just explored the things, and how he answered the things. He explored upon everything and then answered. And then one thing, Buddha never hide anything. Right from his struggle to his perfection, all his experience was shared by all his disciples. That is very important thing that one should understand it. So that is the Buddha way. That is why I personally just accept him one of the greatest ever personality of this earth.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite my sister Thọ Phước, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sister. Yes.
I have a question. What are you happy? What you have?
Yes, very happy.
Awesome.
I'm very happy what happened.
Yeah.
And I am speaking, you are listening. This is the most happiest moment for me. Okay. Yeah. So everybody should be contented what he has, and Buddha has given me too much, you know. So he is always with me. You're listening him? Seeing him? You look at where it is. See it. So he's from Bodh Gaya.
Thank you very much, Professor. I would like to invite Dharma Sister Thánh Nghi, please.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Can you help me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yes. Nowadays, depression is very common in society. How do you think we can deal with depression? Yes, thank you.
Only one thing that saves you from depression. Only one thing. That you know what? Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Only other thing, no. Only just you have to meditate and you have to concentrate what we have. And you know, I'm sharing you very important experience. You can share, you can just get this chance to Venerable Duke. I had a very, what you say, much responsibility in my previous university, Gautam Buddha University. So I was very much, you can say somehow a kind of depression I developed. One day my PhD scholar, Sister Lone, she is an assistant professor in Hue University in your province. She is from Vietnam, come to me and told me, sir, I suggest you one thing. So told, what? Go for Vipassana for 10 days. And I visited Vipassana, and then finally I started learning how I have to remove my negative energy. So no medicine can work in the depression except Vipassana, except a type of meditation. You have your own meditation, you should just join. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite Dhamma Brother Chung Nghĩa, please.
Namo Buddha. Good afternoon, sir. How do you consider about Buddha teaching? How do you consider about Buddha teaching?
Oh, this is the best in the world. How can you consider?
Yes, thank you.
There is no less consideration. Personally, as my academic career, as my personal faith, I consider it's the best in the world. What do you think? What's your opinion? Nothing. What's your opinion? I think it's best.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite Dhamma Sister Huệ Châu, please.
Yes, I have a question for you. How should I cultivate when my eyes are in contact with the scenery?
How should I cultivate when my eyes are in contact with the scenery? Yeah. Very difficult. The two things is that I will come to Buddha's point, number one. Number two, first I'm giving you your answer. Then the question is that first, your concentration would be decided on what kind of scenery you are concentrating. If it is good, you will attain a good vibe. If it is not good, definitely it was a kind of distraction for you. When you talk about the Pali sources, there is a good debate about you need some kind of object for meditation or not. At once, I'm just forgetting the sutta, Anand asks that can any object or scenery can be put to get the concentration. And in a specific circumstances, it has been mentioned that Buddha allowed. So when any kind of scenery, any kind of object is helping you to concentrate, it can be helpful. If that kind of scenery is negating or distracting you, it is harmful.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite my sister Hữu Tâm, please.
Dear sir, I have a question. In the Ariyapariseyana Sutta, have said about after the Buddha was enlightenment, the Buddha were hesitant about reaching the Dharma for fear that the masses couldn't understand and would cause afflictions. But we know long ago Buddha and Bodhisattva are vowed to find the truth for living beings. So why is the Buddha hesitating now?
Good question, sisters. First time that
see
it that it is generally mentioned. Probably, my opinion. One thing that I told you earlier, that I don't think that he hesitated. He hesitated on one point, that from where to begin, to whom I first deliver. Because his learning is very new and it is totally changed the concept of Indian persona. Why? When you talk about other religions of the India in that particular time, every people talk about the idea of sukha, and from sukha you can have to param sukha. He changed the dynamics. He says, no, you have to start from suffering dukkha, and from dukkha to param sukha, that you call that either arhatut, or you can say some kind of higher achievements by the laities, by the upasak and upasikas. So his teaching is very new. So the question was that this total transformation of approach of teaching, how he can tell the commoner who cannot understand it. So otherwise, if it happens, Buddha was failed. He don't want to get any kind of failure. He wants to get successful. So it is thought that how his learning could be delivered, in my opinion. And that is why this idea of Brahma Sahampati was some kind introduced. Because you say that the idea of God never existed in the early Buddhism. So how Brahma Sahampati come? Maybe it's a later interpolation or all. So you just find it that probably this is a kind of creation, aura, environment that was developed. That how Buddha can preach, in which way, to whom. So this can be the best answer, basically.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite my sister Liên Hoàn, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sister.
Yes. I would like to one question for you. How is the Ariyapariseyana understood in the spirit of the sixth harmony? Can you hear me?
Here, generally, he is not mentioning anything. In the Ariyapariseyana, generally, he is just mentioning the process, that how we can just develop this idea. He was mentioning his own story, basically, that how the process began, basically, that how he met to different persons, what he cultivated. He was not explaining his generality, general dispensabilities. That is why it is said that even he is not mentioning the Four Noble Truths. So that I was just telling you that basically it was considered to be his autobiographical sketch. It was teaching to the monks what I perceive is who were not all in the same category of consciousness. Maybe some were very much evolved. Definitely the Ramaka was very much evolved. Ananda himself was very much evolved. But there were also monks who may be Shramane, different level. So basically you will find it that he was a generic, not in very philosophical or metaphysical mode. He was just giving his idea that how he became the Buddha. So every teaching was not explained minutely. It was basically explained that why what I get.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite Dhamma brother to come, please.
Hi, sir.
Yes, I'm stay focused and be present. Tell me.
Sir. Can you share about its level of the four jhana?
What's Bhante? Can you share?
Yes. Can you share about its level of the four jhana? Samatha.
The four jhanas, first jhana, second jhana.
Then for it is that another lecture that you have invited to. Just told the Bhanta Venerable Duke to invite me. Then we'll discuss that four jhana. It will take 2 hours. So okay.
Okay, yes, sir. So next time, please share your experience about the Vipassana.
I can discuss you in very different type because there is a debate that is coming about the jhana, that how you can, Buddha was learned the first stage, that idea of his, you say that previous consciousness, and then finally you can say that his future consciousness, then idea of, you can say, that Four Noble Truth and all. And there is a lot of debate also that I just generally historical note told that the first jhana, that is it was said that it was discussed, it was found only in 11th year of his age when there was an agriculture ceremony in his country, and it was then further inculcated with the teachings of what you say, that idea of nothingness, as well as the idea of non-perception of the Uddaka and Ramputra.
Yeah, sure. I hope this will be your next presentation in our club, sir.
So it will take a lot of times. So.
Thank you very much, Professor. I would like to invite Dhamma Sister Phuktam, please.
Hello, sir. After giving birth to Prince Siddhartha 7 days, Mahapajapati was dead. Could you please explain why? Thank you.
After, sister, what are you after?
After giving birth to Prince Siddhartha 7 days.
Can you write, sister?
After 7 days, the Queen Maya passed away.
No. What is saying this? Can you repeat it?
She would like to ask you about why was after 7 days the Queen Maya gave birth to the Prince Siddhartha. Why was she passed away after 7 days? I think it's mentioned.
How can you mention this?
It's mentioned about in a commentary, Athakathas.
That is a very difficult question to answer. So how can you say it is pass away? Because there's two ways to explain. When I talk about the one point, that is the Theravada point, so it is destined that there was some issue in his pregnancy, and after that she just developed the pregnancy issues and she died. Then again the question is that you're talking about Mahamaya, no?
Yes.
And when you talk about the Mahayana things, this is very difficult to answer because it is said that Buddha is Lokottara. So Buddha is Lokottara, so he is directly just entered into the womb, not developed as a person from womb. He directly entered as a white elephant, as a bodhisattva, and so he was alive in the womb of the Mahamaya, and he, even in that womb he started preaching the devas. And so the big question is, if Deva is sitting in her womb, how his mother can die? So the big question that is you, but as per my own belief, she was a mortal lady, and in that particular time, there was a less medical system.
Yes.
Medical system was not developed, and you find one important thing that I want to give you. Now, a lot of work is going on that the Indian Buddhist missionaries are very, very, what you say, that keen to develop a strong medical system in which the three specific things were very much taken care of: pre-birth of a child, birth of a child, and post-birth of child. The big question is asked in celibate monastery, why we are studying the birth. What is the need? Buddhism is a religion of community. Buddha always has in mind that in his birth, his mother died, and no such mother should die. So that is why probably he himself laid very strong foundation of medical system that you called Arogya Viharas. So very, very important thing that you just find it, how it is, how it was a system. Both the view I have just put before you. It's up to you what you accept.
Very excellent answer. But I remember that that's the answer is taken from Buddha Gosha. He wrote the Atthakatha in Buddha Vamsha. Just the history of the Buddhas, all the Buddhas, the mother of the Buddhas just passed away after 7 days of giving birth. The prince is just mentioned, but I'm not sure. Yes, I'm not sure whether you believe it or not. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
And one sister has asked that I have not attained the second jhana. Sister, if you are attaining the first or second jhana, you will not speak it publicly. Nobody can speak. Okay, the system of Oho is open. So when you realize jhana, you cannot answer that you have realized it. Realization has no exposition.
Yeah.
When you became an arahant, when you became a nibbanic, you started saying that I am an arhat. Okay, so the realization is the self thing, public thing.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to invite Dhamma Sister Sutipama.
Good afternoon, sir.
Shruti, how are you?
Fine, sir. Sir, question related to environmental crisis, like we are facing. So, how you see the Buddha? What are the teachings of Buddha that can save our ecological crisis right now we are facing? Because we have know that our materialistic lifestyle is the cause of this environmental crisis, and Buddha taught us to balance our needs. But apart from it, I know more from you.
4 things one must remember. Only 4 things.
Yes.
That Buddha is saying, you have to find that what is the main reason of suffering. So we are talking about Buddhism kind of suffering. Transportation is a kind of suffering. Monopolization is a kind of suffering. So you must realize what is the kind of suffering, and we have to work that how we can sustain. Second, people are asking that if you are talking like that means all development must stop. No, Buddha is saying that You cannot stop development. Progress is a part of life of humanity, so you cannot do it. But you have always to think that your progress should be with the sustainable approach. Means you have to earn the progress as well as you have to sustain the resources for future generation too. Now humanity is not considering this. They are just trying to monopolize everything for the profit, but not considering what will happen to future generation. So second important point that this. The third important point that Buddha told is that there is two integrative thread that you have to be. The first is that idea of self. The reform begins from the self. So the Buddha, why he is saying that I have done this, maine kiya hai. What I have done this means, I have started this. So he is himself giving the example, you should follow this. So basically, each member of society is to begin from the self, and slowly it will cover the whole society. Same thing Ashoka did when he was a greatest emperor. So he is saying that I have followed this, you have to follow. So the third thing that you have to think that thing. And the fourth thing is that what he was saying, that suffering and happiness both are correlatives. And it is the humans who will determine the level. You need more suffering or you need more happiness. He never tell that everybody should be monk or nuns. How it is possible? But he told every young monk and nuns, that is one of the very famous, that Charak Bhikshuve Charikam, Bahujan Hitai, Bahujan Sukhai. He was always telling that it's the duty of the monks and nuns to go for the Bahujan hits, for well-being of all. So the question is that how you can earn the well-beings, that depends upon that you have to identify that where you are leaning. Either you are leaning towards the suffering or you are leaning towards the happiness. These suffering and happiness parameters can be in monastic way, also in the upasak way. That I can follow, sister can follow in their own way.
Thank you, Professor. The last question, I would like to invite Dharma Sister Lin Huan, please.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Can you share the difference between the fortunate and the fruit, the fortunate and the fortunate fruit of the noble hero?
Can you differentiate between?
Can you share the difference between the fortunate and the fortunate fruit of the noble hero?
For jhana and for noble?
The fortunate and the fortunate fruit of the noble hero.
Noble hero?
Yeah, sure. Venerable Duke, can you just speak me what he was telling?
Yes.
One said that he was talking about fourth jhana, other is what?
The four noble hero, what does it mean? What do you mean, sister? The four noble hero? You mean Sutta or any followers of the saints? Sutta or Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant?
Okay, just. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. See it.
Four fruit, yes.
Four jhana and four fruit of the
Arahant.
Arahant, yeah. See it. Two important things. I'm talking about the Theravadin's points of view. Buddha says that we have to begin with an ordinary human being. So the question is that how you attain the fourth jhana, how you can just learn the Four Noble Truths, and became an arahant, or what would be the different stages. So in it, basically what Buddha evolved is that two things. Very first thing, one question was asked that suppose I attain the fourth jhana, what is the difference between me and you? So Buddha told that I am a discoverer. I have discovered the means of jhana, and you have to follow that means of jhana to be a different stage of learner, what you call that four fruit. In this spectrum, he put, try to understand, both upasak as well as monk in the same footing. Why I'm telling it? Because if you learn that early stature like anagami, sakardagami, you find it, this is the stage of non-arahat. This is the stage of non-achievers. They are achievers, but they are learning something by shedding something. So it gives the scope of the persons who be a follower, but also engaged into higher learning of the Buddha's teaching. Though it is very debatable, I'm coming on debate. It is a very good question. And at one final stage, when you became Arahat, you became totally devoid of the things. Now, where is the main issue is coming? The issue is coming with probably Mahishasakas, if I'm remembering, Mahishasakas. They have raised this question that where you rate Anathapindaka. So all says that Anathapindaka can be rated as who person attained the fourth jhana. So the question is, if you attained it that he attained the fourth jhana, then you have to tell that Anathapindaka is a bhikshu. But Anathapindaka was not a bhikshu. So how can you rate him? So the original Theravadians took the position that all four fruits were earned by Anathapindaka as a upasaka in special circumstances. Not only he, four persons. But still he was not complete arahat. So there is much debate. What is the most accepted idea is that the rest of the three fruit can be attained by the upasaka, but arahant can be only the monks or bhikshus. So this is the position is clear, except one, that is the Mahishasakas, probably, if I'm remembering, who told no, in special circumstances, a upasak of enlightenment can be the enlightened one.
Thank you very much, Professor. Next, now may I request Dharma Sister Vạn Như to give our thanks, Sister, please.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear participants, I am going to offer the top 10 to our guest speaker, enthusiasts and participants. First of all, we are very pleased to receive encouragement and instruction of our when Dr. Thích Vetter, within school of Buddhist study of faculty members and teachers to follow this pioneer laws in the field of Buddhist studies. For this wonderful presentation, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Professor Anand, Nalanda University, Bihar, who not only accepted our official invitation as a guest speaker today, but also delivered such an excellent presentation and discussion on the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. Thank you very much, Professor Anand, for enlightening us the wonderful topic today. We have got lots of knowledge and useful information that you have given our club members. Through your presentation, I believe that all participants and members here have understood clearly and fully about prominent features of the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha. Learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. Once again, thank you so much for your excellent presentation and discussion, sir. In addition, on this occasion, I would like to express the gratefulness and thankfulness to my beloved members of the club and on Antioch of Spoon, a Buddhist service invented. We are not here without your support, congregation, encouragement, and efforts. I believe that with this persistent weekly activities together, our goal of perfection of Dharma will be realized and recognized in a happy manner. Keep it up together. We will be better at English in the near future. Come on Antioch. I also would like to share my special thanks to our moderator today, Drama Sister Linh Lạc. I am very impressed on your words and speeches. Congratulations on your good performance today, Sister. Last but not the least, I am thankful to our participants for joining us in this international interactive meeting. Welcome you all to our international meeting next week. May your spiritual joy, peace, and happiness in this life and the future. May you all be healthy in body, peaceful in mind, happy in life, and successful in career or spiritual path. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you all. Hopefully, my deliberation.
Sir, please wait for 1 or 2 minutes to come to online speak distribution, sir. Please unmute your mic. Open your mic.
My delivery. I am audible, venerable.
Yes, Dhamma Sister Linh Lạc, please unmute your mic. Yes. Yes, now we come to the online certificate distribution, sir. Please wait.
Yes, thank you very much, Dhamma Sister Vạn Như. Now we are going to come to the last session by singing our traditional song of the club, I Have a Right, I Am Home. Before that, please come to the online certificate distribution session. Thank you very much, all members of the club, for taking a moment of your precious time to join the club today. First, I would like to give online certificate distribution by Venerable Dr. Thích Đồng Đắc, founder and president of Nguyên Thiêu Dhamma English Club, to our chief guest, Professor Anand Singh. I really appreciate Professor Anand Singh for our silent presentation on the Buddha through the eyes of the Buddha, learning from the Ariyapariseyana Sutta. I'm thankful for your available to join our club. I hope one day you will come back to join again and share with us a lot of knowledge as today. Next, I also appreciate Dhamma Sister Thích Nữ Hữu Tâm for your opening speech. You done a great job. Congrats. And I would like to appreciate Dhamma Sister Thích Nữ Vạn Như for your vote of thanks. Thank you and congratulations on your good performance today. Finally, it's for me. Once again, thank you and have a nice weekend to you all. One weekend is enough to relax and